Actually, the alcohol's a good one because there's pretty much a bottle shop in every suburb these days. And I think the world's starting to catch up and realise that some of these things aren't too good for us. So they're trying to close bottle shops and nightclubs earlier because there's just too much trouble. Too many things going wrong. I mean, clubs are even trying to do up their restaurants and they're starting to say, hey, this place is so nice, you could bring your kids here. Bring your kids to the pub in that kind of environment where there's gambling and alcohol and that kind of thing. And they're like, the pub's not so bad anymore. It's like, bring your kids up in the pub. It's a great place. Yeah, I don't think so. But anyone who didn't know any better, it wouldn't be such a bad thing. But same with if you listen to a police scanner these days, all night long it's just domestics, lots of domestic violence, pretty much the whole night long. If you know anyone that's a policeman, ask them about it. So now what you've got here is our mate here who's slowly been slipping down the hill. What's happened to him now is he's pretty angry. And he's got his boxing gloves on. He's having a blue. He's angry. And for it to be domestic, though, there has to be a partner involved. So here's his girlfriend. Okay. And she's not happy either, because he's not happy. Maybe he's beat her up a little bit or something like that. And so that's, I mean, this is a pretty hardcore, extreme view of what could happen. But I think it would happen pretty easily. And if these people are brought up in the world, if they don't know any better, then they probably won't be married. Maybe she'll get pregnant and they'll have a kid. But actually, if they are pretty worldly, they might decide, you know, they don't want the kid. So she has an abortion. And then now she's going to feel guilt. She's going to have some more baggage herself. So they're not going good, our couple over here. They're not very good at the moment. Also, going back to that scripture, now we've got some fits of rage and sexual immorality. So that's just goes on and on. But moving back across to this guy over here, he's not really much better. He might be living on this side of the fence, but honestly, he doesn't have a halo over his head. He's not a saint. He's faced with all the same things that these people are faced with. He's faced with all the same temptations. His mind works the same way. It's just he's keeping his focus and his mind on the things of God. Like he's not Superman. Just wanted to point that out. He could easily jump over the fence. So I'm going to read you a short psalm. Actually, it's a long psalm. I'm just going to read you one verse out of it. It's Psalm 119, verse 9. It says, "How can a young man keep his way pure?" And there's a simple answer there, is by living according to the word. Now this says a young man, but it doesn't mean only young man. It means young women as well. And the thing is, this might be a kind of more youth-orientated message, I hope. And the thing is, a lot of young people today like to go out and try the world out, and like to just party for a little while and just see what happens. And they probably think they're not going to stray too far, and they think everything's going to be alright. But but that this 2 years could easily, if they're careful, maybe this 2 years might turn into 3 years, and they might not fall too quickly. It'll be very subtle. It'll be over a very long time as this person slowly lets a lot of other things into their life. This could turn into 13 years. That's how long it could take. And the thing is, this guy is by the time he gets to here, he could get even further, and eventually he might have a hard heart against God. So what's happened now is he's got so far to go that, I hate to say it, I don't think he's going to make it. What happens if Jesus comes back when this guy's here? I mean, he thinks he's not far from the fence, but God said that he will be spewed out of God's mouth. What happens if he gets to here and Jesus comes back? What hope does he have? Especially if his heart is hard against God. So, if he does realise the error of his ways, he's got a long way to go to get back to that fence. And so he's gonna, one day he might decide, that's it, I'm out of here. Things aren't good, I'm gonna try and climb. So he's gonna try and climb. But the problem is, by then he could have all kinds of addictions. So he's carrying a few weights. He's got his family. He's got to bring his family with him too. So he might have. He's going to have strange mindsets and a hard heart. He's doing this all in works, but he's carrying a lot of baggage. He's pretty loaded. The thing is, doctors are giving him medication. Maybe he's got depression. He's got all kinds of things going on. So even if he gets to here, even if he gets halfway up the hill, you probably know a lot of people like this. They've got a long way to climb to get to the top. They get halfway, and then all of a sudden they're gone. Where'd they go? When this person tries to do this on their own, in their own strength, just from good works, it's a heartbreaking game of snakes and ladders. So I'm going to try and draw a snake. We all know people like this. The people who, they come to church for a little while, they're like, I'm going to change. I'm going to get out of this mess. And for a little while, they're pretty good. They get pretty far, but then they slide back again, and you don't see them again for a few months. The doctors are giving him drugs for all these kinds of problems, because they seem to hand them out pretty easily. And the thing is, he's probably going to play this game of snakes and ladders possibly his whole life until he reaches his deathbed. So you got death down here, and he's fallen, he's kept on falling, he's made it to his deathbed. There you go, he's in bed.